Hello and welcome everyone to this week's episode of the podcast. It is wonderful to have you here. And this week I'm going to be sharing about the diploma in wax jewellery and going into a little bit more detail on what you can expect if you are considering signing up for this course or you'd just like to know a bit more about it. So anyone who is new here, welcome. And in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, we have recently launched a brand new diploma, jewellery diploma. We run year-long diplomas here at Jewellers Academy to help train anybody in how to become a professional jeweler. And this is our fifth diploma program. So we have four others that we run already in traditional silver jewelry making techniques, in silver metal clay. And this one has been in demand for a long time and it's been on my list. And I am so excited that we finally got around to creating it. And it kicks off next September and enrollment is open right now. So I know some of you have signed up already. So hopefully you will learn a bit more about it in the podcast today. But I also know a lot of you guys are like, oh my gosh, it looks so good. What's involved? How does it work? Show me more. And we do have an open day coming up as well. So I'll put a link in the show notes to that. I definitely recommend coming along to the open day because I'll be doing a little bit more in-depth talk, even more than on the podcast today. And I'll be showing you all the juicy samples and the things that you'll actually be making on the course. So that is going to be one not to miss. And make sure you come along to that. It's coming up very shortly. But today I'll be sharing a bit about it, particularly sharing about some of the projects, some of the incredible tutors and tuition that we have on this course, and also sharing how it's going to work because it's a little bit different to our other diploma programs. So any of you guys listening who have already completed a diploma with us or perhaps are on one, there's going to be similarities, but there's going to be some differences because of the way that wax jewelry works. So just a quick explanation for anybody, again, who's new here. Wax is a age-old craft of making jewelry, and you essentially make your piece in wax, and there's all different types of waxes that you can use. There's hard waxes, there's soft waxes. They come in all different colors. You may have seen, if you're a jeweler and you've kind of seen things around, quite commonly there's blue wax, which is what beginners often start with. Then there's green wax, which is a little bit kind of tougher in a way. You can get more detail in there. Then there's pink waxes, which are often quite soft. There's even purple waxes. There's all different kind of colors that you can play around with, and a kind of beigey one as well, which is great for detail as well. So you make your piece in wax, and it can be a bit confusing if you're new to jewelry making because you think, why would you want jewelry made out of wax? Isn't that just going to melt or be super uncomfortable? It doesn't stay wax, it's just part of the process. So we then send it off to a casters, and at the casting house they will make a mold of our piece or use investment to surround the wax piece. Then it gets kind of sucked out or melted out, and trying to explain it in the most simple way, it doesn't always come across. And metal is poured into the space that was where your wax was. So essentially, you get back a metal version of your wax piece, and you can choose what metal. So you can get it cast in silver, in all different carats of gold, in brass or bronze sometimes. And it is just an incredible way to make jewelry for lots of reasons, partly because it's not too expensive to work in the wax. So particularly with the changes that are happening with the prices of metals and things, it's a great way to be able to experiment and explore, test out your designs and your ideas, and make sure you're really happy with them before you get them cast into metals. It's also great if you're making collections or if you're building a jewelry business, because you can get molds made of the pieces that you want to get cast lots of times, and you can order small batches of them. So you might say, I want 10 of those rings or 20 of those rings. And there is a whole process after casting where you need to clean up the pieces, cut off the sprue, which is an attachment that is used to attach the wax to a little tree, which is how it's kind of done in the casting process. And then you polish them, and if you've got any stone settings, you might set stones afterwards. So it's a bit involved, but it is a great kind of beginner friendly way to start a jewelry business. And also it's great for those of you that are further along in the journey. It just really is for all different levels. And this diploma that we've created is for all different levels. We'll have people joining us who've never made any jewelry before, and we'll have people joining us who've maybe completed all three of the traditional diplomas and are quite high level, but are really wanting to develop their skills in wax. So it's a really exciting journey, and I'm excited to see all of you guys that go on it. So I want to share a bit about how it works because, like I said, it's different, a little bit different to our other diplomas. So it's similar in that it's a year long. So we kick off in September and it roughly follows the school year here in the UK. So it's from sort of September time through to December. We have a little break over Christmas. Then we come back in January, run until sort of Easter time, have a break over Easter. And then there's the summer term, sort of June to early July. But one of the key differences, so when you do a diploma with us at Jewelers Academy, you post your work to us. And with the wax, because you're going to be sending your pieces off for casting, some of them in the diploma, we outline which ones we'd like you to get cast, or you might have an option. So not all of your pieces you have to get cast. Some of them will be marking in the wax form. Some of them will be marking in the metal form because we want to really see the skills that you're developing in both the wax carving, but also in finishing off the piece, because they are slightly different skills and we're going to be covering all of them. And there's also a lot of stone setting in this course. So anyone who knows me will know I absolutely love gemstones, and all of our diplomas have a lot of stone setting in them because it's just one of the best parts of jewelry making, in my opinion. So you will also learn how to set the stones. Some of you may have done stone setting before, which is great. You can bring those skills in, but it's always a little bit different when you're working with cast wax pieces than starting from sheet metal. So there'll be some new things to learn there. And those of you that haven't done any stone setting before, you're going to be learning how to set stones in your wax. So we'll get kind of more into that in a little bit as we go through the projects. But yeah, in terms of how it works, you're only going to be sending your stuff to us one time. So in our other diplomas, you send it every term, at the end of every term. But because we want you to send your stuff to the casters, get it back, clean it up, finish it, that can take a little bit of time. And we want to make sure you've got plenty of time to fit it all in around your busy schedules and other things you might have going on. So it's not till the end of the course that you're going to send your work to us, and we'll give you lots of guidance on that. We definitely recommend breaking it up into a few different shippings. Just in the very, very unlikely event, I think it's happened 1 in every 1,000 students, something gets lost because of just human error in the postal service. Very, very unlikely. Something gets lost, you definitely don't want to lose all your pieces in one go. So break it up into 2 or 3 parcels, but all of that can be sorted out throughout the program. And then you will have a marking session with your mentor. So just like the other diplomas, you will be assigned a mentor at the beginning of the course. You'll meet with them 6 times throughout the course, which is brilliant because you have this one-to-one connection. And this is the professional jeweler who works in wax, so they can give you guidance, support, and encouragement along your journey in wax carving and casting and all of the processes that we're going to be working through together. But accountability is really important with our diplomas. So we don't want to give you the program, have you work through it, and then only have one deadline, because we know from our previous diplomas it's really important for us to kind of help support you to stay on top of things. So at the end of each term, you will be sending pictures of the work that you have done, more not for us to mark, but more as evidence that you have done it. And this isn't because we want to check up on you, this is to help you with the accountability element. So you will still need to work through as you go, which is brilliant because that is the best way for us all to work together. Having said that, there's loads of flexibility in all our diplomas. As long as you get your stuff done by the end of term, that's the first deadline. So if you're going on holiday or you're unwell or something comes up for a week or 2, there's time to catch up. And like all the other diplomas, the commitment that we recommend is a minimum of 7 hours a week or 1 day a week, which can be spread out however you like. It might be an hour a day or a couple of half days here and there, or you might just sit down and have a whole day that is all about doing your diploma. So it can really fit around whatever whatever else it is you have going on. So that's a very rough idea of how it works. Next, I'd love to talk a little bit about the projects. And like I said, in the open day, I'm going to be able to share all of this in much more detail because I'll have the slides up with the juicy pictures on, and I'll get to show you the before and after and all those things. But I did want to talk through some of the projects that I'm really excited about. So we are going to start right at the beginning. We're going to show you how to work with the tools, what you're going to need. The great thing about wax carving is there isn't a huge amount that you do need. It's very easy and accessible to get started with. It's very easy to do from home. You don't need a lot of space. So it's a perfect kind of one to get going. And those of you that already have a workshop, you've already probably got most of what you need. So it's probably just a few little additional things. We are going to be providing a toolkit and a material kit, and there's a few different options for that and add-ons depending on what tools you already have. So they will be coming out in January. They're not available just yet because it's all brand new. It's all in progress. It's all coming together. So we will let you know, and you can either order those from us, which is super convenient and easy, or we'll give you a list and you can go shopping yourself. So whatever works best for you. Okay, so some of the projects. So we're going to start right at the beginning. We're going to learn all the basics, but quickly we're going to ramp things up. So signet rings are a real classic in wax, and we're going to move past the kind of traditional signet ring and be working with some shaped signet rings, so heart shapes, star shapes. You'll also learn how to do star setting in your wax pieces, which is a really lovely kind of project. Then as well as the carving, so a lot of the wax that we're doing is carving, but we are also including the build-up technique. So this is where you start with no wax and you use a heat pen and you gradually melt the wax and build it up. So you'll learn how to do both. Now, some people say you're either one or the other, but I love both. So I think you might love both too. You might find one that you prefer, but actually I think it's so useful to be able to do both, because when you're working with a material like wax, having flexibility, being able to do precise work as well as organic work really makes you versatile as a jeweler. And our goal in training you in this year-long program is to be really proficient at wax so that you can create any piece you want. You can really make it your own. You can create your own collections. You can build your own jewelry business off the back of it. So we're going to give you all the skills. So you will be learning the build-up technique. We actually have a course out by Joanna Hunt, who came on the podcast recently. And I know loads of you guys have been signing up for that. That's her level 1 course, but she has a more advanced course, which is going in the Diploma, where you'll be learning how to do claw settings in the build-up technique as well, and some more complex kind of designs and pieces. And she made an incredible piece with this beautiful princess cut diamond and gold, and so you'll be learning how to do all of that as well. So you can use wax to create all types of jewelry. You can create silver jewelry collections, you can work in gold, you can have a fine jewelry business based on wax. So the world is really your oyster once you start working in these techniques, and it's very addictive. You have been warned. In a good way, in the best way, I think. I love sitting down at the bench and working with wax because the time just seems to disappear. And I feel like I get into this sort of flow state where I'm just happy. I'm just enjoying it, and it's coming together. And there's always those stages in the middle where you think, what is this? Is this even going to work out? And then once you move past that and it kind of starts to all come together, it's a really exciting process to get immersed in, very mindful as well. So we'll be doing build-up technique throughout the course. We'll also be learning, and I hope I'm going to say this right, the Mitsuru Hikimi technique, which is hugely popular at the moment. And this is a very traditional technique where you sort of work with the wax, you heat it up. It's a different type of wax. It's almost honey-like in sort of the look and the feel and the texture, and it creates almost these kind of strands, these beautiful strands and texture very naturally. And this is so playful, this technique. You can make rings, you can make pendants, all sorts of things. And we have an incredible jeweler coming over from Italy to teach this course with us. She's also going to be doing a masterclass in Brighton, so look out for that because I'm sure the places will go very quickly. But this will be part of the online program, which I think is going to be very popular because it is fun to do. It's really versatile and is just a great way to kind of play with the material and explore something new, and none of the pieces are ever the same that you make through this technique because it's so organic and kind of you use your hands and you're touching and you're molding and all of that kind of stuff. We'll also be working with soft waxes, so learning how to work with different types of wax. So there's sort of almost like a putty-like wax that you can use to create shapes and forms. And there's also sheet wax, which is quite soft, like the pink sheet wax, which are great for making things like flowers and petals. So we'll be really exploring. And I think what will be exciting is to see what bits you really love and what bits you really want to take further, because with a course like this, you're going to be exposed to so many different things that it's impossible for you to become an expert at all of them. But what I hope for you, anyone joining the program, is that you start to find your groove and your style. And of course, learning all the different things is only going to help you improve at the area that you want to improve at, because you'll be versatile as a jeweler. But I think some people will really be drawn to the much more geometric kind of very kind of precision pieces and creating very traditional like clean lines and all of that kind of stuff, which you can do with wax really well. But then we'll have the organic and the free flowing and the kind of let's see what happens and experimental and everything in between. So I'm definitely excited for us to get stuck into all of those elements. Some other parts of the course that are really exciting as well is that we are going to be doing some sand casting. Now, the sand casting is going to be an optional element, so it is not compulsory to complete the diploma because it does require certain torches and things that we know are not always possible depending on your living situation. But it will be taught, it will be covered, and you will have support around it. So sand casting is great. It's an easy, accessible way for you to cast your own pieces. So far we've been talking about pieces that you're going to make and send off to a casters. And if you need help with finding a local casters, do let us know. We'll be able to help with that. There are many casters, so it shouldn't be an issue, but that is something that you definitely need to check out before signing up to the course, especially with different countries, just making sure that you've got a contact somewhere where you can get your pieces cast. But once you learn how to do sand casting, you can cast a lot of pieces yourself if you want to. Like I said, it's not a compulsory part of the program because it does require torches. And if you're in a small little apartment, it might not be possible, for example. But those of you that have a workshop or have created a space in your home where you do have torches and you are able to have access to that equipment, brilliant. Sand casting can be part of the process, and that is going to be taught within the program. We've also got, like I said, lots of stone setting. So we've got a masterclass on wax stone setting with Scott McIntyre, who is a master stone setter, also an incredible wax carver. He's just awesome at everything. So that is in the third term, and that's kind of like the real hero project at the end of the course. You make this humongous pendant with this halo setting of stone, so a big central one, lots of ones around the edge. Really cool. You'll have to check out the pictures. But what's exciting about this is it's really going to show your progress that you've made from the beginning to the end, show that you can make something that's a real showstopper, that's really precise, because of that, with that type of stone setting, it is precise. But don't worry, you'll be guided. You don't need to know how to do it. That is our job, to guide and support you in it. We also have cast in place. Now, I love cast in place. So when we're working with wax, you can set stones in a couple of different ways. The first way is you make the piece in wax, you get it cast into metal, and then you set the stones. And there's lots of different ways that you can set stones in metal, which we're going to be covering quite a few of those in the program. But the other way, which is really unique and exciting, is that you can set the stone in the wax and then get it cast, and then it's already set. So there are only certain types of stones that work in this way. For example, diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and cubic zirconias. A lot of those can be cast in this way. Most other stones can't be. So it is a little bit limiting, but luckily they are really nice stones, diamonds, rubies, and sapphires, and you can get lots of different colors. It's quite experimental, this technique, so it doesn't always go to plan. But when it does, it can have really beautiful effects. And it means there's no stone setting to do after the piece is cast, which is quite fun as well. So there's two different courses where we teach cast in place in the diploma, and it covers quite a vast range of different techniques and projects. So that is something you're going to be working with as well. You'll also be learning about designing for wax. So we have a new design course specifically for working in the waxes, because design works for all different types, but I think it's really nice to think about how you're going to design in wax and the 3D element of it, and considering the materials to really help you work on collections and pieces like that. Because at the end of the program, your final project will be to create a mini collection in wax. And this is to help you build up your portfolio, to showcase what you can do, and to create the kind of pieces that you might want to make and sell. So that's just like a whistle stop tour of some of the projects. And just to tell you a little bit about the tutors. So I already mentioned Scott McIntyre, who is teaching a masterclass as part of this program. Then we have the wonderful Joanna Hunt, who teaches the build-up technique in a couple of the courses. We have Ellen Horgan, who most of you who are part of the Jewels Academy team will know. Ellen. She's been on the podcast. She hosts the podcast as well, and she has her own business working a lot in wax, and she teaches a lot of the beginner wax courses that we have. So in the first term, there are a couple of courses with Ellen, also some courses from Stelios Karantonis, who is another incredible jeweler who works in wax. Jane Taylor has also filmed quite a few of the courses with us. Jane is an incredible jeweler, an incredible stone setter. Everything I ask her to do, she just does incredibly. She's just one of those people, really, really experienced, really versatile. And we have a bunch of other tutors as well. So there's a whole team behind the scenes that have worked on this program, and I'm excited for you to learn from different people. And what's been really nice for me is watching the filming and seeing the tutors' projects and working together with them to create the curriculum and the program. It's incredibly versatile, and I just can't wait to see everyone's pieces come to life. Like, it's the best thing when I see like the Diploma in Silver, which is our most popular diploma, and seeing people's diploma diaries where they're sharing on Instagram what they've been up to and how they've been getting on with the projects. So to see that with the wax pieces is going to be really incredible this next year coming as well. So that's a little taster of what you can expect in the wax course. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to learn a lot together, and yeah, we're going to have some incredible wax jewelry artists at the end of this year-long program. So I just can't wait for us to all get going. So do come and join me for the open day. Like I said, I'll be able to go into a lot more detail in terms of the projects and show you the wonderful pictures. And if you know that you would like to join us for the Wax Diploma, I'll put the link in the show notes as well to sign up, or you can visit jewelersacademy.com/wax. See all of our wax programs and get started. If you're brand new, we have some free wax courses, so you can go and check those out and maybe have a little play with the wax to see how you get on with it. But it is really something we're very passionate about and excited about for this year ahead. So I look forward to seeing lots of you guys on it. Also, just to answer some questions, because we've been asked this quite a bit, anyone on a current diploma who is thinking about joining the wax one next year, that you can go on to the wax one after any of the other ones. So we've got Diploma in Silver Jewelry, Diploma in Fine Jewelry, and the Advanced Jewelry Diploma. And those three are go in years. So it's like year 1, year 2, year 3, almost like a degree, but way better because it's all very practical and you're learning so many great techniques. Then there's the Diploma in Silver Metal Clay, which stands on its own, and the Diploma in Wax, which stands on its own. So you can go in and out, jump around however much you like. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you guys for listening. I hope that that gives you a little bit more of an overview of what to expect. I'll see some of you guys on the open day. We also have discovery calls if you want to chat to someone on the team about the wax diploma. You're not quite sure if it's right for you or you're considering it. There's a free kind of no obligation, no pressure call just to talk through your options. So you can sign up for that if you'd like to. And I look forward to seeing some of you on the program soon. So have a lovely week, and I'll see you back here next week for another episode of the podcast. Until then, bye for now.